Training update 98% on the commercial written exam this morning. So the stoke is high. I'm pumped on that. 3 days ago, I did my first instrument lesson officially, fluent approach, and that was nice. So that's cool. I feel like I'm about ready to take off. It's tough. I'm at 81 hours right now, and I've only flown 15 hours since I got my private pilot's license 11 months ago. So, yeah, really just been kind of saving money, getting stuff in order. I feel like I'm about ready to really get going. I want to I want to have my commercial by July. I don't know. That's pretty ambitious, but that's what I'm shooting for. So I've got March, April, May, June. I've got 4 months, I got to fly 170 hours in 4 months, and get all the checklist items competent for the ACS, and study up for those oral exams. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for right now. We'll see how it goes. I've got access to a Redbird simulator for cheap. I've got multiple CFIIs I'm talking to. I've got a flight club with, I don't know, 3 or 4 decent planes. Maintenance is not perfect, but that's a decent option. I know a private plane owner who is looking to build time and fly. He's an awesome dude, and going out with him is an affordable way to put some hours on the plane. That's kind of my time building, time splitting operation, is going out with that guy. But um, I don't. I haven't talked to him about, like, is he going to rent me the plane and I can bring an instructor or something. Uh, nah, that would start to get a little complicated. I don't know if that's an option right now or not. So I got to thinking, like, where am I at in this process on the road to commercial pilot? I don't know, 81 hours and all of my writtens taken care of. That feels pretty good. The private pilot license is such a huge step right from the beginning. Just starting is so hard. The energy it takes to get started is massive. How long have you spent sitting around at home daydreaming about getting your pilot's license, and to finally get it, that's huge. So I kind of feel like the next 170 hours is going to be, a lot easier to cruise through. As far as the ACS standards for instrument and commercial, I don't know how much work it's going to take to get check ride ready on those things. I went out with a friend that was getting ready for his instrument. I know it's pretty serious. Instrument flying's hard, and I live in the Front Range of Colorado. Turbulence is, if I'm training between February and July. It's gonna be wind and it's gonna be turbulence for the entire time. Instrument flying is really tough when there's turbulence. I mean, it's tough when it's smooth air, but so I don't know. Instrument's going to be intense. Commercial, I have no idea how tough those maneuvers are. I don't even know what some of them are. Practically speaking, I've never been in a plane, to execute them, so that'll all be new and fresh. But I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling confident right now. Of the 15 hours I've flown in the last year, most of those have been in the last month, probably 10 hours this month. And so I'm getting the rust off and I'm feeling good. I'm really back in now and feeling pretty comfortable in the plane. So excited for the training portion. Knowledge portion, for the oral exams, I'm going to be seriously stepping it up this time. The private pilot oral exam was not was not acceptable. So I am going to be extremely more prepared for these upcoming oral exams. And it is going to be a different DPE. And so maybe, maybe the same kind of preparation I did for my private exam would be appropriate for my instrument and commercial, but I don't care. I'm looking forward to being, exceptionally prepared for these oral exams. It's tough, like for the ACS practical portion, it's either like you can do the maneuvers or you cannot. It's very clear if you are competent. But for that oral exam, I mean, how do you know if you know enough? It's crazy. I'll be reading the books and stuff. I just got done with the commercial written, and so now I'm going to really shift my studying away from that standardized test mode and shift to oral exam mode. And this is I got the instrument book. I'll be starting that this week. But that's a great book. They've got the private pilot and they make all of them, but I assume most people know about that book if you're a training student or whatever. If you don't know about that book, I think it's the go-to. You got to get that. I have a link in the description, so you can grab that there for sure, whatever you're working on, instrument, private, whatever. So I am stoked to get going on that oral practice and get ready for those examinations. And then the one thing that's still kind of up in the air is financing. Am I going to be able to pay for all of this? 170 hours of flying. How much dual time? 30, 40, 50 hours with an instructor. I don't know how much dual time I'm going to be paying for coming up. And then, I don't know. What other expenses do I have, I'll have to find a technically advanced aircraft. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that yet, so we'll see. And then, that's really the next milestone is instrument check ride, commercial check ride. I'm going to be working on a little bit of, just all that time building stuff as I'm getting ready here over the next couple months. So just building a lot of cross-country time and all that. I do want to get the instrument done as soon as possible, just so I am legally capable of filing IFR while I do the rest of my time building up to 250. But, I'm always trying to put cross-country in the logbook and work towards those commercial ACS checklist items. So ideally, the next 4 months of my YouTube channel is just going to be updates on flight training moving forward. Lately, as I've been just kind of working and saving money, I've been doing a lot of discussion about the mindset and the logistics of flight training and focusing on a little more of that because I haven't been training. But I think now that I'm going to be, hopefully I'll be flying as much as possible, multiple flights a week. Some weeks, I'm flying every day, close to. And so there's going to be a lot more just kind of focused content on the training process and what some of those particular kind of lesson structures look like, and how it looks and feels learning right when I'm in it. So that's it for this week. A quick training update and a look into what might be coming up in the future. Thanks for checking in. We'll see you next week.